Reggae isn't simply entertainment. It's truth set to rhythm. It's that one truth that'll set you free. And this is a quote from myself. And this quote addresses one of the main reasons I created Hippie-Fari, the beautiful, life-changing message of reggae music. It was created for social change, and its message is as strong today as it was in the 60s when the first reggae records were released in Jamaica. So welcome to another episode of Hippie-Fari Reggae Radio and Podcast, recorded live in the Omen Honey Reggae Radio Media Studios in the beautiful Ocala National Forest in Florida. And I'm your host, Scotty the High-Strung Hippie, and Hippie-Fari is that podcast where we discuss all things reggae. So if reggae music is your thing, you're definitely in the right place. So today, we're connecting with an artist that's carrying the torch for conscious, independent reggae straight out of Virginia Beach. Since 2014, today's guest has been writing, producing, and mixing original reggae music independently. He's inspired by classic roots reggae and the evolution of modern conscious sounds. And the mission is simple but powerful. It's to keep reggae's message alive. Through themes of love, hardship, injustice, equality, personal struggle, and unity, the music tells real stories people can relate to. Now, each release brings a different feel and style while staying rooted in purpose and intention. And inspired by artists connected to Zion Kings, the works of Vaughn Benjamin, shout out Vaughn, he's my literal guru, and the other modern conscious reggae movements, today's conversation is about process, purpose, and vibration. So we're honored to welcome the creative force behind One Culture, Kurt. What's up, Kurt? How you doing, man?
Scotty, thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely, brother, man. It is my pleasure. Been a long time coming. I know you're a very busy man, so I definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on, man. Definitely means a lot to us over here at Hippie-Fari.
Of course, dude. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I last time I saw you were at Point Break Festival, and I got a little, I think it was like 1 minute interview with you. Funny enough, though, I still put it out as a podcast. I called it a mini cast.
Well, it was because you were there for right before Ashley LaRue started, and I happened to be there because I did a song with Ashley, and I went up on stage and did my verse, and Tony introduced me to you, and we just did it. It was awesome, and it's
yes.
Yeah, and no matter what, it's always full circle. Someone connects somebody with someone else, and it just happens.
That's
Magic
right.
happens. So.
Yep. Yeah, and Tony's an awesome guy, man. He Cultivated Mind has a monthly on my podcast. They come on every single month. It's called Cultivated Mondays. I release it the first Monday of every month. It's pretty cool,
Nice.
man. I'm starting a project with him in February, so I'm really excited. He's such a stand-up guy. Plays great music. So the whole Virginia Beach reggae scene, to me, is the definition of what reggae scene should be. You know, I know it's not perfect, nothing's perfect, but I mean, it's a very damn good reggae scene there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, a lot of amazing musicians in Virginia.
Yes.
I saw your podcast you did with Melodos and Marco, and you guys kind of touched on that. And you know, even Marco not being from here, you know, he notices it too. So
yes, I actually tell people, they're like, where are you from? I was like, Florida. I was like, but I'm part of the VB reggae scene. They're like, how was that? I was like, because I am.
It's very welcoming, you know.
Yes, very much so. And I've been welcomed with open arms every time. You know, everybody I talked to, especially at that event, Point Break, everybody was just so nice, you know, and it was kind of cool. People knew who I was, which was neat. But it is a small community, so I was very excited about that. But I do love Virginia Beach reggae scene. I love the music. It's just great. So.
Yeah, man. Likewise. Yes,
absolutely.
Sir. Thank you for supporting the scene, brother.
Always, man. And before we get started, I just will say this. I'm sure people who listen to One Culture know this, and I told you this when I met you. You have, there's some bands, you're like, who is this? When One Culture starts and you start singing, and me and my wife, it is immediate. You have one of the most distinct voices in the reggae scene, straight up, man. You know what I mean? There's no denying it's Kurt.
Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate that very much, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's a very good thing. We love it. So for listeners that are just tuning in, how would you describe the sound and the mission behind One Culture?
Man, it's funny because, originally it started like in 2016, and a lot of... I started it with other people, and I actually wasn't the singer to begin with. It's kind of crazy backstory.
Really?
I just played keys. We had a different singer, and you know we did like 2 local shows, and then kind of split apart just because you know, one of the members moved to California and I went to school in Wilmington. But you know, back then, you know, we were just trying to think of just really uplifting names and names that would just fit it, and you know, that was the first thing that was one of the things that came to mind. And you know, as the band grew and developed more, the mission kind of changed over time. And you know, obviously, like, one culture kind of speaks for itself. It's like it's honoring and, you know, acknowledging all the cultures of the world and how we're one
Amen.
world, you know. And
that's great.
But what one thing that has changed over time for me, I've noticed in certain songs I've written are a lot of come from a lot of have a self-help background to them, to where if someone can relate to that because you're going through the same thing, and you know, that's helping them. And I've started writing a lot of songs in the kind of self-help direction of you know, going through a really hard struggle and coming out of it. And that has been kind of the mission lately of my songwriting. So it's like there is one defined mission, but it's also changing over time, you know, as I grow, you know. So
yeah, it's absolutely a beautiful thing. When I was talking to Melodose, he kind of, you know, I asked him if there's one thing that he could tell the world, you know, one important thing in a world that's kind of messed up now. He goes, you know, reach out to your friends, because you never know what they're going through. And that's kind of along those lines of that, you know, you writing stuff for self-help because somebody could relate to it. You know, I could listen to one of your songs and be like, I'm not alone, you know what I mean? I'm not the only one who goes through that shit. You know, there are other people out there.
Yeah, and one thing I really want to touch on is, so our song Found a Way. I've gotten, this is one reason why, you know, I've kind of gravitated more towards that songwriting style, is I've gotten messages personally from people I've never met that were just going through some really tough stuff. Like one woman's husband was going through cancer, and she was like, yeah, this song, I don't think you understand how much this song is helping us get through this hardship.
That's amazing.
I wish I remembered their name. Like, it's bad on me for not remembering their name, because that's like, and like, but there was multiple other scenarios of that happening. I was like, wow, like, this song is really powerful, and you don't realize it when you're writing it, but when it comes out and the people speak, you know, the people speak on it, you know, it's hard to explain, but
no, I totally get it, man. I mean, well, I don't know if you really can explain something like that, because that's very personal and spiritual when somebody tells you that your song is changing their life. Yeah, that's wild.
When you first start making music and it hasn't reached the masses, you kind of have more of a inward focus on you know, on the goal and the vision, and that is still there, but when your music gets put out to the world more and more people hear it and more people are impacted by it, it adds on top, it adds another layer of purpose to what was already there inside of yourself, you know. So
of course, man. And then it also solidifies, you're like, yes, I'm doing what I need to be doing.
100%. That is like, that's to a T.
Absolutely, yeah, it's amazing, man. And yeah, like I said before, you're you know, your voice is one of the most distinctive in reggae music. Heal Your Soul, Motions, like that kind of ties in with what you were just saying. I mean, it's like all of your music is geared towards like almost other people. You know, it's like everything. You know, you can hear and feel the sense of you know, genuine care for humanity. That's a beautiful thing. Now, coming out of Virginia Beach, which is a beautiful place, man, how was that local environment and scene? How did that influence the actual music of One Culture?
That's such a good question, because, you know, originally, that's a great question. I don't know how to answer it. All I do, I can think back of little moments where, when I first started like producing and getting into reggae, I was very, I was kind of sheltered from like Jamaican reggae and roots reggae. I had just listened to the new upcoming American reggae bands like,
Sure, I feel you.
Stick Figure, Tribal Seeds,
Right.
Fortunate Youth, The Movement, and then as I grew, and I found more artists. The artists I was, my vocabulary of bands I was, listening to expanded, and
Sure.
so that came with it. And then I didn't really get involved into the scene until about 2017, 2018, when we had
Okay.
like our first album release, and I didn't know anybody in the scene. And then and so I met Derek Moore.
Yes,
And
rest in peace.
rest in peace, Derek. Derek held the torch for the scene. Like,
I
it's
never knew,
so-
but that's what I've heard from everybody. Tony, everybody. They speak very highly.
I'll never forget. He was like the first one to reach out to us and offer us like a spot on opening for them. And he asked me to play guitar with them for a bit. And I played a couple shows, but at the time I was just kind of focused on other things.
Right.
And we had some shows with him. He put on little festivals, and like he just did so much. So Derek was a huge inspiration. And then after I met Derek, I met Tony. I met him at, I think he was opening for the Wailing Souls at Shaka's.
Wow, that's great.
That was 2017 or 2018, and I just remember how blown away I was when I first saw Tony. And then when I went to his merch table, he gave me a free shirt, and I was like, man, that's a real one right there. And
That's awesome.
yeah, so I love Tony, and and then the scene started to grow just more and more from there. But I mean, there's always been kind of a presence there. As far as inspiration in my own music, I think I get more inspiration. Not saying I don't get inspiration from other people in the scene, but mostly when I'm listening to an artist that I'm super passionate about, I'm like, just that gives me a lot of inspiration.
Like
so.
Vaughn Benjamin that you mentioned.
Yep, yeah, Vaughn changed my life.
Bro,
so.
he gives me inspiration in life. 100%.
Yeah. He changed my life.
That's awesome.
When I found his music, and I'll never compare myself to him. He's like not of this earth songwriter, but
Yes.
just his music didn't inspire me to write like him. It just inspired me to just get better at what
Sure.
I was doing.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Real quick, do you have a preference? Like, did you like Midnight more or Akabeka more, or did you have a?
So
I was more on the Midnight tip. I love them both, but I like I was a huge Midnight fan. I love Akabeka, but Midnight really resonates with me.
yeah, so I discovered Vaughn through Ake Becca.
Yeah.
It was the Hail the King album.
Yeah.
And fun fact about that album, it was all like recorded like full band live.
Wow, that's awesome.
And but that is the first record I ever heard of Vaughn. And before that, I had heard the tune from Unpolished, "Love the Life You Live." That's like that's a staple like reggae tune that everyone knows. But I didn't know that was by Midnight. I didn't know Vaughn was the same person.
Right.
It's hard for me to pick because
Yeah, it is hard.
I love Midnight's early stuff to where it was him and Ron Benjamin
Yeah.
producing it.
Yep.
Like, gosh, there's some of the albums on there. So like Ancient Maps is like my all time favorite record they
Right.
did. And then when he started working with the Zionite Kings, I Grade Records. I don't know if you heard the Beauty for Ashes record.
Oh, Beauty for Ashes is effing incredible.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's probably
Mine
my
too.
favorite record of all time. And
I love it.
The Zionite Kings, who inspired me, are the producers of that record.
That's fantastic.
And they did a lot of more records with Ake Becca when he started that. So it's hard for me to pick a favorite.
Yeah.
I would say I can't do it.
Well,
man.
I guess the beautiful thing is, we don't have to, which is cool.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. And well, what's really cool, man? Speaking of music, we have a preview of a track that is a One Culture track, obviously. That's dropping on March 18th, which happened, or March 13th, right?
Yes, March 13th.
Yeah, March 13th,
yeah.
and it's titled Golden Sky. So I'm going to play a nice little snippet of it so everybody kind of gets an idea of what you're going to be laying down, man. We're really excited about this. This is Golden Sky. That is awesome, man. That straight up reminds me of just like seriously holding my wife's hand and walking on the beach. You know what I mean? Like in a movie, like like when a movie ends and you just like you just got done robbing a bank and now you're on the beach in Jamaica. You know what I mean? That's like that's a beautiful song, dude. And I'm a percussionist. I dig that shaker in the background, man. Really sick.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, the tambourine, man. Gotta have it. Gotta have that. It's
100%, man.
Crucial.
Well, that's awesome, man. If that's what we got to look forward to, man, I'm very excited. That is that's beautiful reggae music right there, man.
Thank you, man.
That's very cool.
You.
So, when you're starting a new track, what usually comes first? Is it the rhythm, the melody, the message?
It's most of the time it's the rhythm.
Okay.
I'll get inspired. Usually, I get inspired by another song I've heard. Usually, that's how it goes for me. Like sometimes I'll come up with stuff off the cuff and no inspiration, but most of the time I'll hear something and I'm like, "That's sick. I'm gonna do something similar to that." I'm obviously not the same thing, but like, just change it up completely, but in the same inspirational direction. So yeah, usually I start with the rhythm, and then the hardest part is writing the song, man. Like, but after I write the rhythm, then I'll usually try and sing melodies and come up with hum melodies with my acoustic guitar. That's
beautiful.
That's the most natural way for it to come out. But sometimes I'll literally be walking and a melody will just pop up in my brain, and I pull out my phone.
Nice.
And I'll just sing that melody on my phone as voice recording, and then I'm able to figure out what key it's in and all that. And then I'll build the rhythm, and then reintroduce that melody after I've written the song. So
that's great, man. I'm the same way with ideas. My wife often tells me, you scare people because you're like a Tommy gun. You know what I mean? I just spit ideas. So I do the same thing on my phone. Whether it's lyrics, whether it's like a rhythm, whether it's an artwork, and I just pull it out and I'm like, boom, so I can remind myself. Because you know what I mean? It's when you get inspired, you got to hop on it, man.
Yeah, look, let me show you real quick. My so this is. I'll try and scroll it as I go, but this is all the voice memos I have.
Oh, there you go.
I could keep scrolling forever.
Yeah, that's funny, man. That's awesome.
Finally ended there, but yeah.
Yep.
So
that's beautiful, man. 100%.
Yeah.
Now I know there's something awesome about you. You're a producer and you're the engineer, which is awesome. The musician.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How much creative freedom does that give you over like the final sound? I mean, because you're pretty much doing the mixing and the engineering, you still take the input from the rest of the guys, or like once it gets down to that point, is that kind of your call?
Yeah. So honestly, I do it when I do everything. I'll send it to anybody and everybody that I think would give really good advice, and
sure.
Whether that's our drummer or my brother or Marco, just people that I'm very close with. Marco hears everything I do. Like he's my number one dude, and we talk almost every day. So.
Shout out Mellow Dose.
Yeah, that's my guy. But
He's amazing.
yeah, I almost never I never keep it from anybody like before I finish it off and like send it off for mastering.
Sure.
So some people hear it beforehand and offer their input. I always want input and I always want feedback. I'm like, does this sound good? Should I do a different direction? I'm super open to everything. So
Right. Well, that's kind of cool, man. I was gonna say, speaking of that, each of your releases kind of brings a different vibe. You know what I mean? It's not. It doesn't sound. It's not all exactly the same, which is a beautiful thing. Now, do you do that on purpose, or is that just
Yeah.
kind of how it goes?
yeah. Again, it just comes from being inspired by a certain rhythm or song I
Sure.
heard.
Mhm.
So most of the time, that's always different. But my inspirations come from so many different places. But yeah, it's kind of intentional because I don't want it. I want it to have the same cohesive sound, like thematically,
Sure.
of one culture. Like that's the one culture sound. Like I try and keep that. Like I don't like stray off too far from
Right.
our sound.
Well,
But
and
I
then when
try
people hear
and
you sing, it's definitely one culture.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm trying to do is just keep it to where, I'm not trying to go and go off any crazy direction. Like
I got you.
but I'll do, I do some, like I'll incorporate some jazz stuff, and I've been doing a lot of more, like our newer songs that are coming out have a lot more like bridges and
Okay.
very different sounds, but it still fits super well with the sound. And yeah, so yeah, I try and keep it pretty cohesive as far as sonically. So
That's fantastic, man, and that's a good thing too. It's yeah, like you said, you still want to keep like that signature sound, where people will know it's one culture. But then you definitely switch it up so not everything sounds exactly the same, which is
yeah,
which is nice.
and my thing is like when there's bands that completely change their sound, that is totally cool, and that just means that they are, they're finding love of different music in other places, like love for different types of music in other places, and like I'm perfectly content with just the the straight up just reggae, and just because
Yes.
I love it so much, I'm like I just want to just keep doing this, like, and this is working, so I'm just gonna just stick with it.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that because me and Tony had the conversation on the last podcast. It was like, a lot of people, they're reggae adjacent, or they'll say, we're not reggae, and it's like, well, you were reggae when nobody knew who you are. You use the name, you're playing reggae music, kind of gain popularity, and then it's like, then you just dismiss it. We're not reggae. It's like, reggae is built on, the backs of people suffering. It was built for revolution. You know what I mean? The music deserves a little bit of credit, and I just think some people kind of discredit it by, we're not reggae. Well, you were,
Right,
now you're
right.
not. So, but I like the fact that you actually claim reggae. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, and yeah, and again, I try and just stay cohesive with it because I just simply love it, man. Like
Amen.
I'm just obsessed with it. So
Me too.
I made it my whole life since
Yes.
freaking 2011, 2012.
Yep.
I made it my whole life. Before that, I still love hardcore music. I used to be in a hardcore band in
I
high
do too.
school.
I love hardcore, man.
Yeah.
Are you talking like straight edge hardcore, like Earth Crisis style stuff?
Yeah, like I'm more like modern, newer hardcore within the past 10 years to
Okay.
13 years, like Trapped Under Ice and Terror and
August Burns
like,
Red, that kind of stuff?
August Burns Red's a little different. It's a different subgenre of metal.
Okay, gotcha.
But like, I can't think of any. Turnstile.
Okay.
I
I love hardcore, man.
Yeah, me too.
I like a lot of death metal too. Like I love deathcore, like Infant Annihilator. I love that stuff, man.
Hey, dude, I'm a big death metal fan too. I actually
Huge.
just went. It's so funny saying just saying it on this podcast. People are gonna be like, "What the?"
Oh, people like what kind of music you like? I'm like reggae, country, and straight up death metal.
Death metal. Yeah, man. No, I went and saw Cannibal Corpse at the Norva the other day with Municipal Waste, and it was amazing.
I gotta ask you, did you like Corpse with George Corpse Grinder more, or you like Chris Barnes more?
So I'm not very familiar with the bandmates that are, because I didn't go super deep with Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
like I was definitely yeah, I'm not as educated on Cannibal Corpse, but
Well, Chris Barnes was their original singer, and he just had that guttural growl where people liked him. I was like,
the
but George
OG.
Corpse Grinder, their singer now is really good. He's got a lot of range, you know, which
He
that's,
is.
I love him.
It was pretty incredible.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't go to Cannibal Corpse and it not be incredible. You know, just saying.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
It is fun. It is funny to say. It is funny to say it because I know other people are like, "What the heck?"
No, my wife is like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. Turn that off now. Like she won't stand it. She won't have it, dude.
Yeah, man. I started out guitar when I played guitar in high school with metal. Like that's where I came from. Is I started at like Metallica, then it went to like thrash metal and the Lamb of God, and then it went to deathcore like Whitechapel, and then it went
Love
to death
Whitechapel,
metal.
man. Carnifex, all that stuff. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually started out reggae. You know what I mean? When I'm surfing. I was
Okay.
really into reggae music at the age of like 10. A lot of people say Bob Marley got him into reggae. Oddly enough, it was Peter Tosh for me. And then obviously I started listening to Bob. But then I really fell in love with punk, like hardcore punk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Street punk, straight up screaming.
Yeah.
I never lost my love for reggae. You know what I mean? It's like you can't.
Yeah. No, I didn't know what reggae was until about. Man, I don't even know. I didn't, like I said, I started out with like the American reggae bands. Like first, obviously Sublime, and then I started learning. I got an acoustic guitar, and I was obsessed with the Slightly Stupid Acoustic Roots album.
Okay, right on.
Like that got me inspired to start learning how to sing and play guitar.
Yeah.
And then I would go fishing a lot in high school. I still fish now, but in high school I was obsessed with it. My buddy Joel, he just found a bunch of like newer reggae bands through YouTube, and that's how he found Stick Figure. He showed me Burn an Ocean by Stick Figure, and I was like,
nice.
Bro, this is like the greatest thing for fishing.
Yes, hell yeah, it is.
And honestly, the rest is history after that. Once I heard Stick Figure, it was kind of all over for me. I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, that Jimmy Buffett is one of my favorite to fish to.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
100%.
Absolutely. And then when it comes to American reggae, I think. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say we listen to a lot of Americana too when we're fishing, like newer Americana, like Charlie Crockett, stuff like that. Have you ever heard Charlie Crockett?
No, and I was literally just going to ask you, as a musician, as a podcast host, as a guy who knows a lot about music, I've heard the name Americana. I have no idea what the fuck it is. I don't even know if I could tell you what it was if it came on. Is it like folk?
Yeah, it's like modern. It's like if modern folk and old school like swing country like had a baby, kind of. I don't know how to explain it. It's like Western swing combined with like folk and. I don't know. If you go listen to Charlie Crockett, it sounds like old school Western swing. Like it's
I can dig that.
good. It's really good.
I absolutely love. There's no shame in my game. I love country music. I fucking love it. So I'm sure I would like that.
Yeah. I'm honestly not a big fan of like the, like very like top 40 country artists and stuff like that. But I like Chris Stapleton a lot. He's one of my favorites. Like, and I like Zach Brown. And,
yes.
But I'm just like I like the older sound. So.
Me too. 100%. Same with reggae. I like the mid '70s roots reggae. Is my absolute favorite. But and speaking of reggae, I love how at the beginning of my podcast I say the message of reggae. It's as valid today as it was in the '60s when the first reggae records were released in Jamaica, and I love the fact how you carry that message, which is beautiful, that conscious message, and your music touches on love, hardship, injustice, equality, and unity. Where do those themes come from personally? I know you could like watch the news or say something happening, but are there things that in your life that draw you to sing about those issues?
Yeah, it's funny. I think being introduced to really heavy and deep like conspiracies at a young age.
Yes.
Like like I I take everything with a grain of salt. Like even I'm not like die hard on like conspiracy. Like I do believe a lot of conspiracies that are already have been declassified and proven. Like
Me too.
and but
The moon landing was bullshit.
that,
Just saying. Anyway, go ahead.
but yeah, so that kind of sparked my flame of writing about stuff like that, and it really I don't know how to explain it. Like I saw this documentary. It was called Zeitgeist. Have you ever
Yes,
seen
that
it?
guy, 100%.
Yeah, that's really heavy. I saw that when I was in middle school. Like
Yeah.
that I wouldn't say it messed me up, but it definitely made me more open and question more. So I would say learning stuff like that at a young age and just being open to, not just believe everything you see on the TV.
Correct.
And stuff like that really inspired me. And also, God, even learn. So I'm gonna give an example of a song that I wrote about. It's called "Go Green." I don't know if you've heard that one.
No, but I love the name already.
Yeah, so it's that was a song that came out on our Forward Always record. That's our sophomore
Great.
album.
Can we listen to it towards the end of the show?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so a little backstory. I was taking oceanography. I just had to take
Nice.
it as an elective in college, and I just learned a lot of really terrible things about pollution in the ocean
Yes,
and
100%.
and all that stuff. And there was like this specific one about how like turtles mistake plastic bags for jellyfish,
Right.
and they eat it, and
Yep.
that it's plastic. You can't.
Choke on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's so sad.
yeah, stuff like that got me, and I wrote a song. And at the time, I thought that everybody was trying to write songs about like weed and legalizing weed, and
Right, right.
I have nothing against weed. Like I don't smoke weed. I haven't
I
smoked
haven't either.
probably. Yeah, I haven't smoked
Yeah.
probably five. Oh, I haven't smoked in a long time. I don't even remember. I basically was like, I don't want to do it anymore. But anyways, the song is actually. It was geared towards how more people are worried about the legalization of marijuana in America versus the planet.
Right. Amen. Yeah.
But the other thing too, as I've grown, I'm like, there's so many issues, and you can't solve all
There
of
are.
them. Like
Right.
it's, it can only do so much. But at the time, I wrote a song. The song is literally about how, nothing against weed at all, and how good it is for people. But
Yes.
it just seemed like that was, more on the forefront than saving, the planet. So
Sure. And it's pretty awesome that you brought that up. If you see any like my social media posts or listen to my podcast, I'm very militant. Not like I'm gonna run out and shoot people, but with my my beliefs, and especially like the conspiracy theories and my the activism. I was a member of Greenpeace when I was 11 years old, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Yes,
What is Greenpeace?
Greenpeace is a direct action environmental group. So, for example, they will, for an oil tanker, they'll actually get in like a small boat and drive straight in front of an oil tanker and make the oil tanker kind of veer off course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're very direct action. They will liberate animals from like slaughterhouses and from animal testing facilities, kind of like PETA, Greenpeace.
Wow.
Very, very environmental. They like the Earth Liberation Front, the Animal Liberation Front. They don't harm people, but they will straight up burn down an apartment complex that is almost completely built in Vail, Colorado, because they're building it on one of the most beautiful mountain ranges, and they're gonna fucking
Wow.
destroy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I like the direct action. So But like I said, I'm very militant, and that's why I love reggae music. I've been that way my whole life. But the whole go green thing, you're exactly right, man. It seems like people are like, well, I'm not going to be around in 20 years, so what does it matter? It's like, dude, your kids
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
The kids are.
Yeah.
We have to
Yeah.
preserve this this planet that we live on, and we are just destroying it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard because it's like, it is very hard. Like I feel helpless a lot of times, and I feel like the music is the one way that I can help. Like then if there's any way that I can, that's like the best way for me to help is, try and put out some kind of message. And another thing that I have been really really passionate about lately, in the past year or so, is child trafficking.
Yes,
That stuff like shakes me to my core.
it's horrific.
It's like just how deep the rabbit hole goes and how many people are involved, and like
It's
the
sad.
whole Epstein thing, that list.
Yeah.
Like if the unredacted files come out, everybody's hero is going to be on there, and that stuff.
Our
like
leaders
that. So,
are involved. That's what's crazy. That's disgusting. People that we vote for and trust to help us. Wow.
Yeah, and just like it just goes so deep, and it's just so messed up. And there's actually I started writing a song. And I'm going to release it, and I just wrote it, and I have the chord progression, but it's called Silence Ones, and it's like,
Okay.
You can, figure it out by the name Silence Ones, is,
Right.
and it's what it's about, and what my plan is to once it's released is have all of the streaming income and royalties generated for it.
Yeah.
Goes directly to this foundation called the Sentinel Foundation. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No.
Okay, so it's a nonprofit, and they're legit like a nonprofit organization dedicated to like stopping and fighting back child trafficking and human trafficking. Sure. And this guy Ryan Montgomery, I don't know if you've ever watched the Sean Ryan show.
No.
Okay, he's an ex-Navy SEAL. He has a podcast, but he had this guy, Ryan Montgomery, and he's an ethical hacker. And,
Yes.
And he works with the Sentinel Foundation.
Nice.
And they're the top, one of the top, had Tim Tebow's foundation.
Oh, wonderful.
The Sentinel Foundation. Those are like really good places to, if you want to contribute, donate to those. I'm not I'm not pitching it, but I'm just saying.
No, you totally can, man.
Yeah, just I'm writing a song about it, and I'm gonna just have all of the funds go to that organization.
That's beautiful.
And hopefully the song does really well because certain controversial song. It's not nothing controversial about that, but I'm saying certain songs like that I think could have more potential reach just because of how powerful it is. So I don't know when I'm going to finish that. I need to finish it and do something with it, and yeah.
That's great, man. That's absolutely fantastic, bro. Yeah, and what kind of gets me about that kind of stuff is, and one of the reasons I'm, very outspoken and, very militant, because especially with the human trafficking, the people that are participating in this can look in somebody's face, whether it be a woman, a child, whoever they're trafficking, and know that they are fucking destroying their entire life and do it anyway for money. And do it anyway for money. That makes me fucking sick. All over money. Like, what the hell, man? You know what I mean? So I'm glad you're standing up against that. That's great.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I definitely should be more vocal about it and stuff like that. But I keep a lot of like my personal beliefs to myself. But that one is one that I will always speak out on because I'm very very passionate about. Like passionately angry about what's happening.
Yeah, I had a friend ask me about my social media posts. He's like, "Aren't you worried that you might alienate some listeners or something?" I said, "I don't care. I mean, it's the podcast is about reggae music, but I do get political and things like that. But it's like the only things that I ever say or that I preach about or that I'm militant about is helping people out of coming from a place of love and making sure that people have everything we just talked about." Equality and unity because there is injustice, you know what I mean? And, I want people to know that Scotty, he speaks out for this. We have a nonprofit to help. It goes towards holistic autism research, and we also have another one called Reggae for a Reason. Now, you're a full-time reggae musician. Say you got sick and you missed half your tour. Well, you didn't make any money. Well, Reggae for a Reason could step in and help supplement that income. We just helped two reggae. We helped two reggae bands in Jamaica, and it happened to be right after the hurricane. We were able to help them substantially, which was a beautiful thing. So
that's amazing, dude. I love that. I love
absolutely,
that.
Man. Yeah, and once again, a friend, why Reggae for a Reason? I was like, look, man, because it's what I love, and why not all music? I was like, well, because other people could do country for a reason. I'm doing reggae for a reason because it's what I love and it's the music that changed my life and that so.
Yeah, 100%. You don't know anybody any explanation, man.
Yep, but that's a great thing. About what you're doing, man. I wish more people would, literally look and think, if that was me, what would I do? You know what I mean? If you lost your entire life and were, kidnapped and got taken from your family, and that would not be a beautiful day. So I'm really, 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 really stoked about what you're doing. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So do you see reggae, especially your music, more as like storytelling or more as social commentary, kind of spiritual expression, or kind of everything rolled into one?
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy because like I was saying earlier, my message and my reason and my why,
right,
has just changed over time. And sometimes back then when I first started songwriting, I had writer's block all the time, and I had to force stuff out. I had to force it out, because I just wasn't inexperienced. I was an inexperienced songwriter, and over the past few years, as I've done it, it's gotten definitely easier because it's like a muscle. The more you work it, the more it grows.
Muscle memory.
And I'm sorry. What was your question? Can you tell me the question again so I can tie that back? I went on.
Oh no, you're good. I was just basically saying, how did you see your reggae music? To you, are you telling a story? Is it for social commentary? Is it spiritual, or is it kind of everything?
Yeah, so it's definitely a little bit of everything, and that kind of goes back to the talking about keeping all of the songs and the instrumentation different every time.
Sure.
So. Yeah, I would say it's a little bit of everything for sure. It's whether it be, spirit behind it, coming from a spiritual thing, or coming from something that I'm going through, or even songs like that we do with Marco. I was just on the phone with him today talking about our song "Heal Your Soul" because that just hit 200,000 streams on Spotify, which is amazing. We're stoked on, and we were talking about how. When I first did that song, I didn't know what to write about. Before it was "Heal Your Soul," I had no idea what to write about. And Mark was like, "Dude, why don't you just write about music?"
Yes.
And I was like, "Bro, I've never done that. Let's do it." So I wrote it. I wrote my verse and wrote the hook, and and then I gave it to Marco. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it comes from a lot of different places. So.
That's beautiful, and I'm glad that you actually made the conscious decision to sing about what you sing about. Hippie-Fari is all about conscious reggae, roots reggae, and
yes,
you took the platform and you made the conscious decision to actually sing about things that matter, not about getting fucked up or like doing partying and doing all that kind of, you know what I mean? You made the decision to actually use your voice for good, and I just wanted to say that's a beautiful thing, man. That's what we love, and that's what we're here to support. So, thank you so much for doing that. And speaking of that, why do you feel conscious reggae is so important in the world today, man? Is there any issues that stick out to you that other than obviously we just touched on the human trafficking, but why do you feel that message needs to be heard?
People can believe whatever they want to believe, and they can choose to engage themselves in whatever topics they want, or as little topics as they want, because the reality is a lot of people have families, they got jobs, they don't got, a lot of people don't have time to go deep dive and on every issue and everything on earth.
Right.
And I think reggae music is a good way to bridge that gap of,
It is.
because it just sounds, the way that reggae sounds, there's two sides to it. Reggae that sounds uplifting, and then you have your militant sounding, heavier, like minor reggae with heavy bass.
Yeah, I love that. And then the step is reggae.
Yeah, where it makes sense to have very militant, conscious lyrics about issues, and I think that it's beautiful because it's like the one genre that it's just the one genre that kind of can bring it all together, and it's easier to listen to. Like,
that's right,
for the modern person, because if you know this, if you listen to a lot of hardcore and punk, there's just as much, if not more, militant stuff, like reggae, but because the way that the music is, it's hard for the average everyday person to listen to.
No, you're exactly right. Yeah.
And I think that because reggae is way easier to listen to, it might be easier for somebody to intake the message that it's trying to portray. So
exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with you 100%. Yeah, it's like my wife, you know what I mean, or my mom, or somebody is not going to sit down and listen to Minor Threat, you know what I mean, and get a message. But you definitely get that through reggae music, which is a beautiful thing. And speaking of reggae music, Tony Brand, is one of my favorite quotes. So reggae music is the last bastion of the people's army. Basically, it's the last weapon we have. It is a weapon. It straight up is. And in a time of, conscious liberation, where we need to literally realize even our thoughts are not our own. Everything has been hijacked. You know what I mean? You're indoctrinated from birth, so you got to wonder: am I even thinking for myself, or am I thinking the way that I've been trained to think? They've taken everything from us, and reggae music is a weapon. That's why I like how you use it, because you use it for good. And that's a beautiful thing, because people do need to hear that message. And if you're changing people's lives and you've heard it, then there's a lot more out there that aren't contacting you that are still kind of feeling the same way, man. So
yeah, and every single person that contacts me about, or just reaches out, about how the song's helping whatever cause or whatever thing that they're personally going through, is a win to me. So
oh, absolutely, man, 100%. It's a beautiful thing. It's a win for the world, Yeah. If you change one person's mind, then that's beautiful. You've definitely done your job. So, thank you so much, man. Now, you mentioned Zion I Kings as major inspiration. What about that collective resonates with you? Why are they such an inspiration to you?
It's honestly, it's the sonic quality and characteristics of their production. They're just like, sure. To me, in my opinion, they're the best modern or contemporary reggae producers in the world right now. Yeah. I think so. There's so many, but to me, they're the best. They're a collective of three. Tippy, I-Grade, he's out of St. Croix, and then David, he's in Florida, I think, and then Moonbane, I think he's like in Vermont or something. I don't know exactly where he is, but and they work collectively together on rhythms, and they build rhythms together, and they all have their own label. Like Tippy has I-Grade Records.
Nice.
David has Zion High Productions.
Nice.
And then Moonbane has Lustry Kings. And they have their own labels, but they make music collectively. So whenever one of the labels releases an album with an artist, it's all of them that have put into it. And,
that's great.
And it comes out as like whatever art, like Protege.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of the record. It's like Something in Time. Zion I Kings did a whole reggae remix of one of Protege's records. And if you go to Protege's album discography, you'll see it up there. It says Zion I Kings and Protege. And basically, they just took his original songs and just recreated them reggae, because a lot of the songs on the album were not reggae. They were more, they were like hip-hop reggae,
Sure,
and they put their own production spin on it. So I would just say that they're the best because they keep the authentic root sound and it's all live instruments, and they work with the best artists and best instrumentalists, best players, like best horn player. And they're like the top tier mixing engineers. Like I could talk about them all day. Like every time a Zion I King's production with an artist comes out, I'm like, it's Christmas for me.
That's great, man. And a big shout out to their name, bro. That name is sick. I just started. I'm starting a project with Tony. And we already kind of started it, but I'm actually going to be in Virginia Beach in February for 3 days to kind of lay down the music with him. But it's called I Sound Infantry, and I wanted the name I in the band, but I tried like I Prophecy. That was kind of taken or too close. I tried a lot of them were taken. I was like, now let me get creative. I was like, I Sound Infantry. There's no way in hell that's taken, and sure enough, it wasn't. So that's good. But
Nice.
I wanted something that screamed, militants and kind of in your face, like hard steppers, very dub, just the bass heavy driving, and the lyrics are gonna match. It's a beautiful thing, but it's something that I have always wanted to do. And sure enough, Mr. Brand was like, I love you, bro. Of course I'll do it with you. And I was like, that's wonderful news, man. That's a beautiful
dude.
thing. So
yeah, dude. Tony,
I'm very excited about that. But
Tony works with everybody, man. He puts a lot of effort into the community, and like
he does.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted him to have him on my podcast as a monthly, because I was like, Cultivated Mind has a lot going on all the time, and they're constantly putting out music. So I was like, that's a perfect band to have on. You know what I mean? Because every time it's just a different podcast.
yeah, 100%. That's awesome.
It's a beautiful thing, and I listened to Zion I Kings last night as I was doing the pre-planning for the show, and
oh, cool,
phenomenal stuff, man.
Yeah.
But so the work of
good.
Vaughn, I know you mentioned Vaughn Benjamin. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Major inspiration. Could you tell me exactly? I know we touched on it a little bit earlier, but when was that kind of that turning point, or was there something that you heard him say when you were like, "Wow, this is it"?
That's a hard question, because when
I heard
first
Black Carbon from Akabeko with Chronics.
That tune.
Oh man,
Zion I Kings produced that one.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The whole road.
Yeah, actually, that whole album with that it's called Polarities. The Akabeka album Polarities that has Black Carbon on it. That's Zion I King's production.
Wow, that's amazing, bro. All right, well, cool then. Look at that, dude. Look how everything comes full circle, bro.
Yeah. So, man, it's so hard. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just like the fact that it was a collective effort of Vaughn's voice and his songwriting, and his, from what I've heard, his mega attention to detail on reggae. Like that's why his band. I'm a firm believer that he's passed now, so it's unfortunate that you can't go see him anymore.
Yep.
But I was just talking to Marco about this the other day, and he agreed with me because I sent him. We were just watching. I sent him a midnight video, and they were just like the tightest band ever.
Oh, yeah.
Like no tracks, no anything, no in-ears. Like they were just locked in, like meditative, locked in.
Yep.
And I told Marco, I was like, dude, every musician should go watch live footage of Midnight or Akibeka live, and that is a staying in the pocket, meditative drum and bass groove lesson 101.
Yes. I've gone down the rabbit hole and watched tons of their live videos. What got me for Vaughn was when he started dissecting words. You know what I mean?
Like flipping words over, and they have the opposite meaning.
This part means that. This part means that. So that is, and I'm like, damn, this guy is
the next level,
unbelievably smart. And also, it was a beautiful inspiration to me because I through my research found out that Vaughn Benjamin, he was a student of the Vedas and the Upanishads, which are Hindu text. He's also Rastafari, and that happened follow my exact spiritual path, Hinduism
Wow.
and Rastafari. And I was like, there's some people that are like, you can't be. It's like you can be whatever you want. But I was like, it's amazing. And then you start to deep dive into his lyrics, and you're like, this is where he gets all this profound stuff from, because he doesn't just pigeonhole himself. He is a student of spirituality.
Yeah.
And like, man,
it's incredible. Like, and just how many. Like, he has a whole poem book, about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the pole. I think the Pole Akud or something like that. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but gosh, it's such a good. I actually, somebody like posted it somewhere, and I opened it and I read it online, like just some of the poems that he had written, and it's like, dude, that dude could write.
Yeah,
he could write some music.
Yeah, and he was like, listening to Black Carbon, I was like, it's like you're getting a fucking spiritual science lesson, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's 100 right now. And back in 2019, this was right before he passed. It was in July of 2019. He passed November 2019.
Right.
It was the first and last time I got to see him live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I didn't know about him until about 2018 or something like that. And then I got to see him, and Tony opened up for him at the 1619 Fest in Jamestown, Virginia.
Yep.
It was like the 400-year anniversary of when slaves were brought to America.
Right.
And he was headlining it. And, we went to it. I went to it, and I saw Tony, and then, we all were just watching the band. And Tony's like, yeah, it's like freaking going to church, man. And I'm like, wow, this is like, I don't know. It's just crazy.
Funny story about that show. Tony, he obviously loved Vaughn Benjamin, and he's like, I got the funny idea. I was going to give him a Cultivated Mind shirt. Like, Vaughn Benjamin wants a fucking Cultivated Mind shirt. He said, so he walks in with it in his hand, gets close to him, turns around and walks away, and then Tony's wife, Rachel's like, hey, Vaughn, that's one of your biggest fans. And Tony's like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Tony told me that story, too.
He's like, and then Vaughn was like, yeah, that song Sunday School. He's like, do that.
Do that.
But that's good advice, man. But that's absolutely incredible, man, to be able to, talk to your.
I could talk about Vaughn all day, man. And again, going back to the just all of his works with the Zionite Kings is just my favorite. It's my favorite body of musical works ever, just because of the quality of, like, the true, like, modern roots reggae sound combined with Vaughn.
Yes.
It's just like a match made in heaven. So
yeah, it's beautiful. Shout out to St. Croix Roots, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was something special, bro. And I love the way he dressed.
Yeah.
Big top hats and shit.
Yeah, and another artist just like Vaughn, I would say, is the female version of Vaughn, Desiree.
Right on.
Have you heard Desiree?
No.
Oh my gosh, you need to go check out Desiree, bro. That's bucket list artist for me to go see live. But it's basically the female version of Vaughn.
Sick. All right. Fuck yeah, man. You ever heard of Holly Cook? She's out of the UK.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Her she is my favorite female. God dang, she's good, because her sounds so vintage, but it's new. Her dad was a drummer for the Sex Pistols, and her mom was a backup singer for Culture Club, bro. So
wow, that's cool.
She is some sick reggae, bro.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable. I love her. But Desiree, the female version of Vaughn Benjamin, I'm gonna check that out, man.
I'll after. It's all good. After this, I'll send you some links. I get pretty hype when other people are interested in hearing new reggae bands and they haven't heard them. Man. I'm like, oh, you gotta hear this.
Yes. That's how I am. And I've got some. I go all the way into, like I said, the original roots reggae. I love it so much. Like the Twinkle Brothers, Apple Gabriel, all that stuff. And I love sharing that with people who are kind of new to reggae, or they only listen to Cali reggae. I'm like, do you know where the reggae came from? Stick Figure. I'm like, well, no, not really. I mean, they're a great band, but that's not where it starts and ends. So, but I'm the same way. I get so excited when I get to share music with people.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, man. So, artists like Stick Figure, the Expanders, and Guiding Star Orchestra, they all bring different energies. So I know I asked you earlier what what you're trying to deliver. With artists like these, what do you actually take from those kind of sounds?
That's a good question. So I would put, the sonic characteristics of Stick Figure
Okay.
and Cyanide Kings, I would put them in a very similar wheelhouse because it just sounds like the rhythms sound like modern roots reggae. You know, it's very
Yes.
polished, fattest bass, hardest hitting drums. Everything you can hear is clear. So you know that's the quality that I strive for in my mixes, and that comes from just mixing and some production stuff. But then artists like you've heard the Expanders before, have you?
100%.
Yeah, the Expanders are the reason I learned about roots reggae and Jamaican reggae and everything. Like, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have my, my knowledge of the vast knowledge of different reggae. It's really
Right.
them. Like, when I first heard them, I was like, oh my gosh, because I saw them live and I was just blown away about their harmonies and I just learned a lot from them.
Yeah.
And they just have that old classic sound, the old classic freaking 70s, late 60s, early 70s Jamaican sound. They just have it down pat. And,
It's a beautiful thing.
And then Guiding Star Orchestra, they're a newer band actually from Denmark, and I highly recommend. They're basically it's just a reggae orchestra. It's insane.
Okay, beautiful.
It's like very roots, very exactly what you expect, and it has a modern sound, but it also sounds very gritty and has it's like if modern and vintage kind of came together.
Yes, beautiful.
And they got a 3-part horn section, sax, trombone, trumpet, key. They're a huge band, but they're really sick, and I just kind of get from them, because I incorporate horns in some of our songs too.
Right.
And if you listen to Cyanide Kings records, they have a lot of horns in their stuff too.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain it. The Guiding Star Orchestra is just sick. That's all I get.
I love it, man. You know what does it for me, man? Me and my wife. Because I don't get me wrong. I like the Cali reggae. Some of the stuff that came out. I'm a very message oriented guy. You know what I mean? To me, like I said, reggae, you can't take Christian music and put satanic lyrics and it still be Christian music.
Right.
So I'm one of the believers that, I mean, it's not a really, I guess I'll just come right out and say it. When you take conscious lyrics and remove them from reggae, I mean, how is it reggae? Well, because reggae was invented for revolution. You know what I'm saying? It was invented to bring forth a message of struggle. When you remove that message, is it still reggae? I don't know. But Tribal Seeds is me and my wife's favorite American reggae band because they stick to the fucking roots, and their lyrics are conscious as hell. It's all about positive change, and it's a beautiful thing. And if I'm listening to something, I want it to impact me in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? People are like, there's a time and a place for everything. I'm like, conscious reggae, from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, that's the time and the place for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I love it. I love it.
And I'm not saying that you can't have lyrics that aren't conscious and not be a reggae band. I'm just saying I struggle with that because I'm like, you have a platform. Why wouldn't you deliver a beautiful message?
I think it's because I have this conversation a lot with people.
Right.
And I sometimes fall in the sitting on the fence kind of thing of I think it's about just acknowledgement and respect of where it came from.
Correct.
And people can make whatever music they want,
Sure.
People are gonna make whatever music they want.
100%.
And and I mean. It is interesting because of where the music came from, and where it stemmed from. It just gives it that extra razor's edge of it has a deeper meaning, and you can't just you can, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it just it hurts a little bit when you stray from the path of what it was originally for, but at the same time. one can make an argument and say, well, what about like jazz and rock music? You know, that stem from, you know, slave songs. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you could argue that too. Like,
Right. No,
so,
yeah, I totally get it. And like I said, nothing
know.
against you know, but when I was, you know, coming up with my podcast platform, you know, I could have went a million different directions. And, you know, I talked to my wife about it. She's like, do what you love. And I was like, it's militant, conscious roots. And I want, you know, people with a message. And, you know, that's what I do.
Yeah. And I think, and again, it goes back to the, like, people are going to do whatever they want. But I think that because of where the genre is rooted in, I think it's important, if you're going to play reggae music, I think you should, like, if you're not going to, you know, do conscious stuff, like, you should at least do some due diligence on, like, learning the history of where it came from. Because, like, but again, you can do whatever you want. But that's me. That's what I would do. That's what I would say. And
right. But just have the respect factor for it. I get
exactly.
You know,
exactly.
There's
and then you you could argue that, you know, hip hop and sampling and all that stemmed from, you know, dub music out of Jamaica, like reggae dub, you know, using the mixing board as an instrument.
Certainly.
You know, that was like, you know, late 70s. That was like the first time they were doing it. So. Yep,
absolutely, man. And that's some of my favorite styles of reggae is that, and with like the UK steppers, the very, very heavy bass, you know, the 4 to the floor with the bass and the kick and the snare, you know, the kick and the hi-hat are on every beat, and real heavy sub bass with very conscious lyrics. It's just absolutely beautiful. But I love the dub and the steppers. It's such a huge fan. But so what is next for One Culture, man? Obviously, we got those new releases. Is that part of an album, or is it just dropping that day?
Yeah, it's a part of an album. We've already released 3 of the songs that are going to be going on the album.
Right.
Patience with my brother Leo.
Okay.
And then I released a song called Steady Movin' back in June. And then in July, we released The Road. And then I've just been taking a break because last year and the year before that, we were releasing once a month.
Right.
And just kind of started taking a little break, getting these songs together. And so the goal is the next album for middle next year. Originally the goal was May.
Yeah.
But it might be pushed to July. I'm not 100% sure yet, but next year, count on an album. And,
that's beautiful.
And also a tour next year.
Beautiful.
Try and get other tours next year. So
that's great. Well, count on me calling you again, because if you're putting out a new album and you're going to go on a tour, you definitely need to come on here and talk about it. That'd be wonderful, man.
Yeah, dude. Of course.
Absolutely. Are you planning on like a straight up like full U.S. tour, just East Coast, or what?
Probably just East Coast.
Okay.
I mean, man, I would love for the opportunity to arise to where we could get on some get on some festivals on the West Coast, or if the logistics work out to get on something, you know, on the West Coast, just something to happen. But I've just been my goal right now is I've just been trying to grow from releasing music and being present on social platforms, because you know, as you know, I mean, touring is a very financially draining venture.
Oh yeah, that's work too, man.
Yeah, and my happy place is in the studio. So
that's beautiful.
Like, I'm just like, you know what? A lot of people are saying that I should go hard on touring right now, and I think I want to grow a little more so that when we play shows, it's not just like playing to empty rooms completely.
Right.
Because we've been doing that, been playing to empty rooms for a long time. And,
my band does sometimes. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it is it's all part of it. Everybody's got to do it. Everybody's gone through it. And,
yeah, you'll get off a stage in front of a festival in front of 10,000 people, and then go play a local bar with 4.
Yeah. And that's another reason we used to play locally a lot in the area. I really cut back on us playing locally. And that's just because of me personally. I thought we were oversaturating the local market.
I got you.
So that's literally one of the only reasons. And play a show every now and again. in the local area, and just like I said, just keep trying to get the outreach from social media and releasing music frequently. So that's just kind of been my
That's the best thing
strategy.
you can do. Keep that
Yeah.
algorithm up. And something funny, man, I hopped on your Spotify. I went to Go Green, and it's on my playlist. So
Cool.
I don't know how I remember. My playlist is about 35 hours long. So yeah, it really is, man. My Hippie-Fari playlist, it's insane. But
Cool.
before we wrap it up and get out of here, since we were talking about it, I would love to play that track. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
All right, awesome, man. This is Go Green, One Culture. Yeah.
Here's a little starter. What do you make it harder? And push a little farther. Criminalizing marijuana. The stakes of convenience are taken for granted. A leisure overlooked is leaving others empty-handed. Because what I see is more and more wealth. When we know that the earth is in need of its help. See through them lies while they criminalize. Them haze of these skies. Pressure in our lives. Plastic in the ocean. The change starts with you. Make it your devotion of clean earth to preserve. Yeah. Go green. Go green. Yeah. Go green. Don't get me wrong, should free up the earth, but more people should be concerned with this green earth. How much longer can we keep this up? Eventually Mother Nature will go belly up. No time doing all the earth, no time doing all this life, because the stakes are high. It's time to prioritize. Go green for the earth and go green for this life. Go green for the earth and go green for the high. Yeah.
just like a lot of songs, I don't know exactly know the name. I am very familiar with that track, bro. Very. So, yeah, 100%, man. So, kind of wrapping up here. Last thing, coming from you, man. When someone hears your music for the very first time, what do you hope they feel or they take away from it?
I hope they feel like it just depends on what the song is about. But
Right.
if it's about personal struggle, I hope that they understand and can understand that, like, a lot of us go through many of the same things.
Sure.
And we all don't have as many original experiences as we think we do.
Correct.
You
Yeah,
know?
you're exactly right, man.
And then also, be open to, I guess, I don't want to say education, but just like be open to different ideas to learn
Yes.
from. And the other thing too is I'm just so, and the most passionate I am about about music is the quality control.
Yes.
And I'm very obsessed with quality and very obsessed with mixing and just getting the best sounding stuff. And
Right.
I think people can appreciate that, but sometimes the average everyday listener, I'm not saying this about everybody, but a lot of people only care about the lyrics, and
Sure.
which the lyrics are great. That's
Yep.
why it's called a song. You need
Sure.
lyrics for it to be a song.
Amen.
But I guess, like, thinking about how much goes into everything instead
Right.
of it just the song and just
Sure.
the lyrics. Like, that's just coming from my passion as a mixing engineer and a
Yes.
musician.
Yep.
That not a lot of people will be able to relate to, because some people listen to music very passively,
Sure.
while others listen to music for other reasons, or some people listen to music because they're like, wow, that musicianship is outstanding.
Yep.
There's a lot of different types of people who listen to different types of music for their own reasons. So I digress, but that would be my only thing is know that not only was my love poured into it from a lyrical standpoint, but most of the love was poured into the quality of the music. So
That's a beautiful thing, man. And I always say, like at a festival, the most important thing is the sound.
yeah,
Man, it really is, man. Because people didn't come to a festival to eat or buy clothes. They legit came to hear music. And if the music sounds like crap, people are just gonna have a bad time.
yeah,
So
100%.
I'm with you 100%, man. Completely. And I do like what you said with the question I just asked. When people hear your music for the first time, what do you hope they take away? That they have the ability to kind of maybe change their mind if they hear something that they didn't think about, or and they see it in a new light. They could be like, "Oh wow,
Yeah.
you know what? I never looked at it that way." And that's one thing
Yeah,
about me.
just-
I'll change my mind on a dime if the truth is presented.
Yeah, that's one thing I think that the world is lacking, is just perspective. Like,
It is. You're exactly right, man.
I mean, if everybody, again, not saying what I think is the right thing, but I think that if everybody had more perspective
Mhm.
regarding anything, an understanding, so we would all be able to understand each other a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
Yeah, and we need to realize that your upbringing and all this kind of stuff doesn't define you. It's okay to,
Yeah.
change your views, or if you see something that's true, kind of go with that. You don't have to, stick with
Yeah.
something because that's how I was raised. Or, you know what I mean? That doesn't define who you are as a person. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
the ability to accept truth is a beautiful thing, man. So, where's the best place for listeners to connect with One Culture and kind of get with you and kind of support what you're building?
Yeah, so obviously you can find us on Instagram at One Culture Music. Find us on YouTube, One Culture. Facebook, Facebook, all that good stuff. TikTok. I post a lot on TikTok actually,
Yeah,
and
I'm on TikTok too.
we're doing really well on TikTok, better
That's
than
beautiful.
anywhere. It's funny. Like,
You gotta follow
it's
me on
'cause-
TikTok if you don't mind.
Yeah, follow me. I'll follow you or
100%,
whatever.
man, yeah.
Yeah, I just started posting a lot of rhythm videos, and they just kind of were blowing up because I guess people love reggae rhythms. So, but another place that I highly encourage people to go is to go on Facebook and go to our group page.
Yes.
One Culture Family.
Don't you have one with Melodose too?
No. Marco has
you guys
his
had a
own.
meetup at the. Didn't you guys have like a dual meetup at the VB Reggae or
Point Break.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a meetup. We posted in both groups, Melodosers and One Culture Family. We both posted in those groups about
There
the
you go.
meetup.
Cool.
So yeah, we don't have one group, but
Okay.
but the reason I say One Culture Family to join is because we're about to have our merch store open, and I've been ordering a lot of test prints, and we're
Nice.
doing a lot of giveaways, giving away a lot of shirts, stickers,
Yep.
trying to like engage with the super fans and the fans because
great.
like they're the reason that we exist. So
That's beautiful.
like so yeah, we're very engaged personally on our group page. So
That's
if you
beautiful.
want that personal engagement, go join the group. It's gonna
I'm
have
actually,
some
I joined a long time ago, a part of it.
Oh
100%.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm glad you brought up merch. There's something that I definitely want to ask you after the podcast. But well, that's awesome, dude. Definitely fantastic having you on, man. It was a long time coming. Like I said, you know, I've been after you for about 6 months, but you're a very busy guy, and you know, that just shows that, you know, I'm a true fan, man, and you know, I really do love what you're doing. I love the music, the message. You stick to the roots. It's just a beautiful thing, man. You're the epitome of everything that we represent here at Hippie-Fari. So.
Oh, dude, you're too kind, Scotty. Yeah, no, I just want to, before we hop off, say one thing to you as well. Thank you for just going out of your way to connect with all the bands, like, within the scene and all of just overall, just, you know, making stuff happen, making this podcast happen, what was the foundation that you said that you started?
Oh, Reggae for a reason.
Yeah, like stuff like that. You know, you already know. You don't have to do all that, but you are, and that's
Right.
what's beautiful about it. So I just want to say thank you for your contribution to, just to the whole thing. So. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It definitely means a lot, and
'Cause it's a lot of time and a lot of effort.
it is. But I mean, I love it, and you know, for my spirituality, to me, the number one way you could serve God is to be in service of others.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love thy neighbor, be in service of others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's it. And even if I can't help myself, I would still help somebody else, because in turn, if I'm helping others, then I am helping myself. You know what I'm saying? It's looking
100%.
beyond the ego and you know, realizing that people need help. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing, because when I need help one day, or I have in the past, it's beautiful when my friends step up and they actually help me out. It's a nice thing.
100%. 100%.
Definitely, man.
Amazing.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. We definitely appreciate it. And One Culture, check them out, guys. Much love. And I will say there is strength in unity. Build your community. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm at Hippie-Fari. Shoot me an email, hippiefarreggae@gmail.com, and check out my website, Hippie-Fari.com. It's Hippiefari, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And this is Scotty the High-Strung Hippie and Kira the Irie Empress, reminding you to speak your mind before somebody else does it for you. And do something nice for somebody today. Grab flowers for your partner, smoke out a stranger, slip the homeless man a buck. But whatever you do, do it from the heart. All good things start with the heart. Peace, love, and roster rhythms are all a part of that reggae revolution. One love, fam.